Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to dive into all things butt wink. Is it even really an issue? And if we do decide that it is an issue, how can we fix it? So first and foremost, is it an issue? If our back hurts, hip hurts, whatever, then probably, yeah, we could associate that extra movement to the pelvis might be an issue contributing to some of the discomfort that we're feeling. As a heuristic, typically, if we lack movement somewhere, or we're getting movement where we shouldn't, and something doesn't feel good, if we fix that, a lot of times I feel a little bit better. But if I were to stop the video right now and just give you some things to do to try to fix it on your own, I would say slow the fuck down, give yourself a heavy tempo. Having more time to organize ourselves in space typically help us access better positions. Add a heel elevation and then do anterior loads, so goblet squat, front squat, even like a zercher. Those are going to be things that all get us into a better position to control our center of mass, stay over the midfoot, stack the ribcage over the pelvis. That'll help contribute to our pelvis being in a better position so we're not getting butt wink. So that would be that. Now, kind of contributing or really adding on to that, typically when we're getting butt wink in the bottom of a squat, I would say we're getting range of motion because we lack range of motion somewhere else. So it could be I'm starting in so much anterior tilt that as I go through a squat, I'm just running out of room at the hip, right? I'm running out of the room out of the femur, kind of interacting with the pelvis. So instead of moving at the femur, like I'm doing as I go through hip flexion, I'm moving at the pelvis instead. So it could just be, hey, get ourselves into better positions, whether it's just tucking the pelvis better at the start, whether it's slowing down, heel wedge, anterior load, things are helping us get better positioning at the ribcage and pelvis so that we're not moving extra to the pelvis in the bottom of the squat. That's going to be a big one. Could just be neuromuscular control and awareness too, so like use a mirror and a tempo. That could just help a ton on its own. Probably lack range of motion somewhere, or getting range of motion somewhere because we don't have it somewhere else. That would be the first thing that I'd look at. And I think really outside of that, one of the biggest things that I see is typically it happens on more of like a back squat pattern. So if we look at squatting as a spectrum, we're going to have very vertical squats. So think hack squat, goblet squat, counterbalance squat, even a zercher, things I mentioned earlier, where we're more upright. And then we're going to have things like a low bar squat or I bar squat where we're a bit more hingy. And then based off differences in structures, like I'm 6'3", I have long femurs. My squat is a little bit more hingy because of my structure. If we have somebody that has, really short femurs and a long torso, maybe it's a bit easier for them to squat because they have a better time getting into deep hip flexion because of the leverages. So for them versus for me, the degree of hinging that we're going to have in a back squat is going to be different. In our form, what's considered good form is not going to be uniform. So all that to say, very often I'll see people that need to have a bit more of a hinge in their high bar squat, trying to be super vertical, and they get the butt wink because they're being super vertical. So us getting into a bit more of a hinge in our squat, and I'm not saying like fucking barbell deadlift your squat, like do a good morning, but having a little bit more of a hinge can help us get into better positions where we can move through the hip better so that we're not getting that butt wink in the bottom of the squat. So those are the things that I'm looking at. This is actually turned into a pretty quick video. So again, like baseline things, heel wedge, tempo, things that are gonna help us organize ourselves better in space, anterior load too, I would add into there. And then I'll troubleshoot, okay, is it a pelvis issue? Am I starting an anterior tilt? Am I able to stabilize my pelvis? Anterior tilt is not inherently bad, but am I starting in so much that I'm running out of space as I go through deep hip flexion? That's probably going to be an issue. Or we just look at general hip mobility. Like, how do my hips move? Do I need to improve my ability to get through hip internal rotation, external rotation, etc.? The last thing would be, okay, what squat variation am I doing? Am I doing a squat variation where I might say the standards of squatting might need to be hinging a little bit more? And then do I have a structure that might indicate that I should hinge a little bit more in a high bar or a low bar squat? If that's the case, then just teach myself to hinge a little bit better. If I'm trying to be so upright, I'm probably demanding more from that position than I actually have the ability to express in my structure. So just hinge a little bit more in your squat and the butt wink probably get fixed. So let me know your thoughts below. If you have any other follow-up questions in terms of lower body issues through squatting, hinging, any movement pattern, let me know. I'll do a follow-up video or a video down the road on that. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do so now, and I'll see you guys soon.